Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. 25th and 26th April, some 100 nations and more than 450 delegates had gathered in Hyderabad for a Bharat Summit, which was organized by Congress under the aegis of the Telangana government. The summit was the beginning of a new global order for a new global justice, which spoke about climate change, democracy, economy, and many other issues. Now, this was the first biggest summit which Congress held after the Bandung Conference of 1955. Rahul Gandhi attended this event. It was not a small feat, and the Grand Old Party had to sail against many odds as the central government tried to create many roadblocks. Now, the man who conceptualized this Congress gathering of all the progressives and the liberal forces is Sam Pitroda. Everybody knows he doesn't need an introduction. And I thought of speaking to him about this new global order, which was conceptualized through this Bharat Summit. Thank you so much, Mr. Sam Pitroda, for joining us on Truth Be Told, which is HW's special program. And I'd be delighted to speak to you about this Bharat Summit, which was held over 2 days on 25th and 26th. The first question is that what kind of a challenge was it for the Congress party to hold a conference like this? Because I'm told that there were many roadblocks which were tried, which were created by the central government, especially the MEA.
Well, Neelu, thank you very much for the opportunity. I wish Bharat Summit had gotten a lot more exposure in India. Unfortunately, Indian media took very little interest. To me, the world is at crossroads. If you look at what happened after Cold War, it was clear that democracy is winning. A lot of the new countries coming out of former Soviet Union preferred democracy. Many people wrote about the fact that this is an end of communism and victory of democracy. Unfortunately, when you look at the reality today, because we had in 2024 elections in more than 64 countries, and the results tell us that there is a rise of authoritarian governance. It's a very interesting divide. Earlier it was between democracy and communism. Now it is a clear divide between the way you run government. Authoritarian, one-man show, centralized, high-handedness, command and control. On the other hand, collaboration, cooperation, communication, co-creation, because many believe that in democracy you don't get the efficiency. So we are going through a very difficult time, and we are the largest democratic party in the world. Congress party has given direction in the past during non-aligned movement. Congress party spoke on many occasions on Africa and many other issues. And some of us felt that Congress party should host a conference like this. Many countries came together because Progressive Alliance is a group of political parties committed to democracy, rule of law, independence of institutions, free press, justice, freedom, and there are more than 100 countries in this group. So when we proposed the idea, they were very keen and excited that India, being the largest democratic party in the world, would host this. So the idea was conceived during our meeting in Chile. we didn't realize that it will be that difficult to host a meeting like this. There were several issues. One was basically visa.
No, but can I interrupt you that you when the time when this conference was conceptualized, and as you said, it was done in Chile. At that time, you didn't preempt that this could be a roadblock which could be created by the center for you.
No, no, we didn't realize that it would be, because it's just a conversation. I mean, what is the problem in having open conversation on democracy? You know, it's okay. Somebody may agree with you, somebody may not agree with you. That's fine. We were not there to criticize anybody. Our goal was not to criticize any government. Our goal was to really bring like-minded people together to see what it means to have this kind of clear divide in the world today. How
No, but
did it
now
happen?
the conference is over. Even I was there for 2 days in Hyderabad. Now that the conference is over, do you feel that this conference posed some kind of a threat for the central government here in India?
No, I don't look at it that way. Idea was not to have a threat for central government. The idea was to really have a fair conversation at a global level. Whether it is, one could say similar things about US, one could say similar things about Hungary, Turkey. Okay, but that was not the goal, because these governments are going to do what they're doing anyway. But can we really bring political parties of the world together to really convince them that in the larger scheme of things, democracy is global public good. Democracy is required for development. It is all about empowering people at the end of the day. And I'm personally very interested, because I believe that the technology that I have spent 60 years on is all about empowering people. But the governance structure is antithesis to that. When technology is designed to democratize knowledge, decentralize implementation, empowering human being, and wait till you get AI, and then you turn around and say, no, 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 we are going to curb freedom of press. We're going to curb institutional autonomy. We will not allow civil society to work the way they should work. To me, it's an antithesis. Okay? And that's why I am committed to exploring this further. I had no idea that it will take that much problem in getting visas for everybody. Of course, there are people that government of India does not recognize. I respect that. And they could say, look, these are the people we cannot recognize because of the country, because of our relationship. So you can't invite them. Perfectly normal. But having agreed to, you can't just give visa to 26 people, 49 people, 39 people. I mean, they were issuing visas week before the conference. It was a huge problem for us, because the guests were worried, saying, how do I make my travel arrangement? When do I go to the Indian consulate? Okay. And Indian consulate also, I am told, I'm not, uh, sure of it, but I'm told, and by several people, that Indian consulate in their countries also didn't make it easier for them to get a visa. So that was one major hurdle we
And
found.
do you think that this visa problem was deliberately created? It was deliberately
I don't
engineered,
know. I
throttle the
don't
conference?
know. I don't know. Maybe they were too busy. Maybe they thought it was not that important to issue visa in time. The visas could have been issued a month ago.
No, but it could be insecurity as well. It could be insecurity on the part of the central government, that how on earth can Congress pull off an event like this?
Well, I wouldn't comment on that, because that's not how I work. Okay. But I wish we were more generous in issuing visas, at least in time. I'm not saying bend your rule and issue visa to somebody you don't want to issue visa. That's okay. That's your privilege as government. And we respect that. Then there were issues in terms of Also, operation within the party, which is normal in Indian situation. You know, the conference was in Hyderabad. We had a good team. Local government did a good job. They have excellent facilities in Hyderabad. Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and Minister of IT and Business were very cooperative. So all of that went well. But the kind of support I would have expected on social media and communication and all, we partly didn't get. And it may have to do with the terror event in Kashmir.
No, but when you say that you didn't get that kind of support from the social media, are you pointing fingers at your own social media department
No,
of the Congress?
I'm
Because if
saying
it was-
overall attention. No, I'm saying overall attention on social media nationwide. I'm not talking about party. Okay, nationwide, social media was busy, rightfully so, on terror, Kashmir event. And as a result, this event got sidelined, which is okay. All right. Even Rahul had to go to Kashmir on 25th. Earlier, he was supposed to be in Hyderabad on 25th. Fortunately, he could juggle his program and even for a few hours came to Hyderabad on 26th, which made all the difference. All delegates were excited to see him. There was a lot of energy at that event. Rahul spoke well. Other speakers who were with him on the podium spoke equally well. And I think overall, event was good. And we need to do more of this because if we don't talk about democracy, freedom, justice, we may get dragged into a situation where people will accept a new norm. Okay. And that new norm is not in the larger interest of the public. See, today, what is happening is rich and powerful are all coming together. You look at in America, you look at in India, you look at everywhere. Strong political people align with very rich and they make the rule. I always say that there is a golden rule. The one who has gold makes the rule. And as a result, we really don't pay attention to environment, attention to employment, economy, and especially people at the bottom of the economic pyramid. And that's the fundamental difference in many cases. The authoritarian regime, it seems, is more geared towards top down, and democratic regime is more geared towards bottom up. Okay. And I think this sort of period is very critical period in human history. Okay.
But what I want to understand from you, and I think the people would also be interested in knowing, is that when Congress puts together a summit like this, and of course it has happened after so many years. The last everyone saw was was the Bandung conference in 1955, and after that, Congress has managed to pull off such a big event. Now, what is Congress trying to gain by a summit like this? And I was also told that this kind of an event will be made into an annual event every year where a lot of other nations will join in the Progressive Alliance, which you spoke about. So ultimately, is Congress going to play a pivotal role in bringing all these progressive forces from as many nations as what we saw, some 100 nations coming together? And maybe when next year the summit is going to be held, there'll be more nations added to this group?
Sure. I believe we have moral responsibility. We can't just walk away from it. Of course, it's not easy. There'll be resistance. People will ask questions. But I look at people like Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Maulana Azad, Rabindranath Tagore. And I said, what would they do in a situation like this? Will they keep quiet? Will they allow authoritarian forces to take over? So the fight is very real. And the fight manifests in many different ways. You know, in authoritarian regime, we have seen that there is always this divide. It could be a divide based on race, religion, could be a divide based on migration. And when people talk about migration and all, I remind myself that the story of human civilization is all about the story of migration. We all migrated from somewhere. All of us came from Africa. Some went left, some went right, some went up. And it has been a constant crossbreeding going on. Even today it is going on in a big way. Okay. So to react to that and say we will only build this community and promote this race or this religion or this ideology, it doesn't make sense anymore. We got to respect diversity because nature is full of diversity. There is diversity everywhere. And that's a way of life. We should celebrate diversity. And that's why I think, going back to your original question, I believe we have a moral responsibility. And we will learn in the process. We'll also make mistakes, this time almost 100 parties came, and I'm sure next time 150 parties will come. We'll be little.
So has Congress decided on making this event into an annual event every year? And what are the gains which I may ask Congress? What is the kind of gains which Congress is looking at?
I don't think it is a matter of gains. As I said earlier, it's a matter of moral responsibility. Some of these small countries need support. They need direction. Especially countries in Africa were so thrilled.
I asked you this specific question on gains was, Mr. Pitroda, that I also saw a large number of people from the diaspora also who attended the event. And we already, make comparisons, and media tends to make those comparisons that BJP has a very aggressive diaspora, which is working overtime for the party. So from events like these, does Congress stand to gain in terms of the diaspora also, with more people from the diaspora and NRIs supporting Congress and then ultimately also benefiting the party in some way or the other?
Time will tell. Okay, but it is not about mobilizing diaspora. It's about mobilizing global opinion. And diasporas are part of it. The other day we were talking about diasporas, and I said, look, you must remember that Indian diaspora brings in $120 billion a year into the country as income. That's a huge number. Indian diaspora also brings in $200 billion worth of software and service export. This 320 billion a year really makes what India is today. Let's not forget. Of course, there are other things. But this is the driving engine. Whether diaspora is BJP or it is Congress or some other party, doesn't really matter. It's okay, people change. But I want people to realize that the future lies in empowering people. Future lies in democracy. Future lies in diversity, inclusion. Future lies in handling, like Rahul has been saying, OBC, Dalits, and others, so they get more opportunities. So future also lies in technology.